And good morrow, GS2 fans. It is I, your not-so-glorious host, Steven, and welcome to the GameSpace Game Show. It's a show where we talk about games as well as one of the best live casts that will always keep you guessing. Are they or are they not actually wearing pants right now? How about you, Ralph? Are you wearing pants?
Surprisingly, in this 89-degree weather, yes. Yes, I am.
That is surprising. And that's, I'm going to workshop that as a catchphrase. Are they or are they not actually wearing pants right now? I think that would be good. Tonight we have one of my favorite returning co-hosts, as you can see out there on the live cast, Ralph, who is, he's not just one of my favorite co-hosts, but he's also part of our roundtable on the Hero Signal, which is our upcoming podcast about all kinds of superhero-related things. He also dabbles in some fantastic artwork that you can see on his channel. He writes for GameSpace and MMO as well. His favorite color is the ocean. He's not a vegetarian, as far as I know. Ralph, how am I doing here? Is this a good intro?
It's a good intro. My favorite color. I don't have one. I guess the ocean would be ocean of colors, yeah. And then I'm vegetarian actually, yeah.
Are you really vegetarian?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I said you weren't a vegetarian, but it's nuts that you actually turned out to be a vegetarian. It's like if there was one thing for me to get wrong, I could have gotten the favorite color wrong, but I got the vegetarian part wrong. Wow. What are the chances? Well, welcome, best friend Ralph, to the show. How are you doing this week? What have you been up to?
Honestly, lots of homework. I mean, classwork is tough, but honestly, just that, helping my friend move. Honestly, general, just games, lots of games.
Games are good. You gotta love games. Well, what a week then. What a week for you. It's been busy. What a week for me. It's been interesting to say the least, and that's the least I'll say about it. Our show tonight is something near and dear to my heart, though closer to, I guess, my groin area, because I keep the phone in my pocket usually. But I wanted to chat about mobile games tonight, if that's okay with everyone out there. If that's okay with you, Ralph.
Oh yeah, mobile games are awesome.
You know, I'm starting to agree more and more with that, because they've come a long way, right?
Oh yeah, they have. I mean, the variety of mobile games that are out there now is great, because at first all we had was like Tetris, like way back in the day, just Tetris-like games, and now we got lots.
It was always Tetris and Snake. Snake was the big one.
Oh my God, Snake. Yes, lots. Oh.
And Kiwi just reminded me that today is Friday the 13th.
All right, everybody, bad luck. Let's go. Who's that, so?
So there's a lot to cover whenever we talk about mobile games, because it's so big and wide and crazy. It really has come a long way, and I know that I've kind of engrossed myself in them. And Ralph, as you said, you've probably tried. You said that you're really into more of the anime games right now. I would have figured you to be like a Marvel and DC mobile game fan, but you're not really digging those lately, right?
It's only because, well, I do like, I believe it was Marvel Strike Force.
Yeah.
I do like that. That one is always like my backup, because like I switch between them so often, so I will always go back to that one.
Right. And that one probably, sad to say, is like my least favorite out of all of them. But I still play it. I just don't enjoy it as much as some of the other ones. But what about who in their right mind hasn't at this point played Pokemon Go? I mean, are you aware of anybody in your circle who has not played Pokemon Go at this point?
No. Mm-mm.
Do you still play it?
Yep.
Okay. I haven't logged into it in a long time, but I think I might, because now that they have the new Pokemon coming out for the Switch, and you can like move your characters back and forth.
There's that, and there's been some updates to that game that's just been, great in my opinion. And whenever we get to talking about that, I'll get into that.
Okay, so where I'm going to kind of broach this subject is mobile games are not really playing Snake in the bathroom anymore, because, I mean, the hardware's gotten a lot better. Games have all kind of been pushing more to mobile because it's been such a cash cow. And here's a quick anecdote about it's real quick. I was at a wedding a few weeks back, and a fellow that I was in a conversation with, we were talking about gaming, and he was saying that he didn't really have time to game anymore or keep up with the console and the PC hoopla, but he plays PUBG on his mobile device. And he also mourned the loss of RuneScape because I guess they stopped, it's not a browser game anymore, but it surprised him because they moved it over to mobile now. You can actually well, I don't know if it's out yet, but it's supposed to release on Android pretty soon. So he was really surprised. So what is your take on where mobile has gone these days?
Mobile's gone great places because, I mean, there's a lot of old MMOs that have shut down that have moved to making their game mobile.
Right.
RuneScape for one, and you got Adventure Quest 3D. That's not old, but they moved it to where it's like multi-platform. Then there's like crap. I have a long list once, but it's gone great places. or a Kingdom. That one, I believe that's still up as a regular MMO, but they also have a mobile game. Huh. So it's like it's great. Like mobile has made gaming accessible to a lot of people, and it's opened up a lot of people to the gaming life and atmosphere.
I don't know if Kiwi's still out there, but I think that she might have been in the beta for this. And I don't know if you were, if you know, but a game I think would do really well on mobile if it hasn't been moved there already? Maple Story.
Guess what's coming to mobile?
Is it really? Is Maple Story? Wow.
Yep. I'm already pre-registered.
Is it the original or is it the new updated version? Like the new one?
Original is the 2D one.
Okay. Yeah, because the new one actually looks pretty good, but I don't think that it's like so far in a way that they couldn't put it on mobile, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe there are some things that they could do with that to put it on mobile, but at the moment, with the systems that they're developing inside that game, they would have to make some specifics for mobile.
Right. Well, we may see it at some point. Devices are getting more powerful.
Very true.
I know that this won't sound like it makes sense in context, but I do have a point. Would you say that battle royale games are a fad right now?
A fad?
Or do you think that they're here to stay? Like, are we...
I think they're here to stay, and that's mostly because, I mean, honestly, I'm going to go ahead and put a bit of history on this right now. Based on humans, we love to see, people battle it out. I mean, we had coliseums where gladiators would go and, destroy each other. Guess what? Battle Royale it's a big arena where gladiators or people go and fight each other. It's going to be around for a long time, and people are always going to be into it.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. But the reason why I asked this is not just because we've seen a lot of Battle Royale games right now, and a bunch of them have moved over to the mobile platform. But another set of games we've seen growing almost exponentially has been AR-style games like Pokemon Go, which we were talking about, Ingress, which is kind of like the first one that was out there like this. And it's now getting a Netflix show, right? It's on Netflix? Yeah. It's like an anime or something.
Yes, sir. I was really surprised about that.
That's kind of crazy. But we have Jurassic World Alive, which is another one. The new Walking Dead game, the Harry Potter Wizards Unite game. Is that game actually out yet, or has it not released yet?
I don't think that one... Yeah, that one hasn't released yet, I don't think.
Man. Yeah, I was...
Because I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was interested in it, too. I was like, man, that's going to be good. But strangely enough, like, it was announced early, but I haven't seen anything about it. I've seen other games like that I didn't hear anything about suddenly launched, like the Ghostbusters game, and Kiwi's crying over here about it not releasing yet. I'm with.
We all want to be a wizard.
I'm interested to see how it goes. I heard that there was another Harry Potter game that released, mobile game. What's that one called? It's like the Wizard
Harry Potter, Hogwarts. 1 second, Hogwarts Mystery.
Okay, and that one released, and and Kiwi says it's terrible. Do you like that game at all?
I enjoyed it for what it was, because I mean, I enjoy the lore of the Harry Potter universe. So hearing like an added on story, it got me interested in that. But as far as the gameplay wise, I deleted the game because I just didn't want to go through it.
Okay. Well, I mean, aside from Pokemon Go, have you tried any of the other games like that?
Like that. There was this one, like when the Harry Potter, what was the one that you said? Harry Potter,
the
Magic
Wizards Unite. That one?
Yes, that one. When that one was announced, there was another sort of like AR game, sort of with wizards that came out. I don't think I have it on here anymore, but I was playing that one for a little bit. Magus Wizarding.
Oh,
Magus. Okay. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Huh. But like the Walking Dead game and like the Jurassic World, like you haven't played any of those AR specific type games, or is this other Harry Potter one more like that?
Yeah, no, okay. Not those.
Not anything like that. I really haven't gotten too far into it since after Pokemon Go, but I really wanted to. I think that the Ghostbusters one is kind of a cool idea. But the thing that I didn't like about Pokemon Go, and you might be able to speak to this because I haven't really played it or kept up with it that much, but after like battling the gyms and stuff like that, which was pretty much just like a treadmill because everyone kept retaking everything that I would capture.
Yeah.
I kind of just lost interest in continuing to do that. So what have they really added to that game right now?
What they've added recently was like now there's weather effects. So let's say if there's a hot day, there might be more fire Pokemon that show up. Or if it's raining, water Pokemon will show up more often.
That's kind of a cool idea.
So they added that. Also, they added in trading recently. So now you can trade Pokemon, which makes me think battling is not that far behind. And if they add battling, I imagine a lot more people are going to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would. Well, I mean, they kind of have to do battling if they're going to be doing this in conjunction with the Switch, right? I mean, I don't know if it'll be able to play together, but
I would imagine so, because if they don't, it's a real loss, in my opinion, because that's like one of the main things about Pokemon. Right. You are battling other trainers.
Yeah.
And if they don't add that, then, what's the point?
Kiwi says The Walking Dead only came out yesterday and that she's going to play it this weekend, maybe to review, which would be interesting. Now, that definitely has to have battling because you're not going to go around and try and catch dead people, right?
Yeah. We all got to get our, what is it, like the barbed wire baseball bat?
Yep. I'm interested to see how that plays out because initially I didn't think it was a very good idea because if it's like firearms based and like it makes like a gunshot noise and you're pointing your phone around and like making gunshot noises with it while you're looking at people, I don't think it's going to go over too well, but I'm going to wait and reserve judgment until Kiwi tells me what's going on with this game.
Yeah, because I have it's hard to imagine what that's going to be like.
Yeah. And so what do you think as far as these AR games are concerned? I mean, are we destined to see more of these games crop up? And how many IPs can we really throw into the same formula before people can't stand it anymore? Because that's what Battle Royale games are doing. We've seen so many crazy ones. I mean...
Yeah.
But are we just going to keep seeing them in the same way as the Battle Royale games?
I feel like we will as technology... advances and moves on and like phones get better, we're going to see more AR games, and there are many different, I can think personally, many different anime titles that they can throw under there that could work and like could be AR, but again, it's going to be in the same vein that the games that are already out are in. So somebody's going to have to come along to just make something completely, like, change the game up.
Right. Well, technology, Ralph. I mean,
Yeah.
mobile technology is a big deal, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And here's a plus and a minus when it comes to technology. I was going to save this for the news section, but it's relevant to what we're talking about now since you brought up technology. Have you been following Magic Leap at all?
No, what is that?
All right. I'm glad that you haven't been following it because now it makes more sense for me to explain what it is. I've been following it, and let me just say I've been jazzed about them for a long time. I followed their patents. I've seen their videos and what they hope to accomplish. And Kiwi is going to throw a fit because she's also really been following Magic Leap. But over this past week, Magic Leap has chosen its North American distributor as none other than AT&T, which, I mean, for me, ruffled some feathers, my tiny monochrome feathers, because I'm very monochrome. But I'm not an AT&T fan, despite using them, enjoying their fiber service currently. I don't want to use them for a cell phone provider, but that's one way to ostracize a big group. And so this hardware is essentially the glasses AR that everyone's been talking about for a long time. It connects up to a processing unit in your pocket. At least that's how it's supposed to work. And they did kind of like a pre-recorded demo the other day that I wasn't going to splice the video because I didn't have enough time, but it's actually pretty cool. The processing of what they do, it's like it can tell what your hands are doing. You can set points by just, you know, pinching around. There's a game that they showed where there's like a little rock monster who throws rocks at you. You know, it's more like a tech demo showing you what it's capable of, but it was really kind of a cool idea in the sense that if you're watching the rock monster, you can select where you want to place him. He'll pull out a rock and he'll throw it at you. And for the first rock, they just like swatted it out of the way. They, you know, hit the rock and it exploded. The second one, they let it pass by them and they turned and watched the rock fly past their head and hit the wall behind them and explode. So it was really a cool idea because Magic Leap allowed you to get kind of the lay of the land, so it knew, hey, he's standing on the floor, he's standing on a counter, wherever he's standing, and when he threw a rock at you, it knows, hey, that rock passed by you. It didn't just disappear from your view and it's gone. You can watch the rock hit the wall. So it's a really cool idea, and I'm not really sure what we're going to see from it, and I don't know what the price point's going to be. It sounds like it's going to be a pretty hefty price point.
I would imagine so.
Which means that people like me and you and maybe Kiwi, if we're not made of money, which I currently am not, we're going to have to maybe buy into some sort of plan to get this unit if we really want to play what Magic Leap has, or just experience Magic Leap, which, I mean, I'm really jazzed about it. But I hate that they're going the same way that Google did with their Pixel phone, where they chose Verizon as their preferred carrier for the Pixel phones. It's gross. I mean,
I agree, because I feel that limits, one, it limits the audience, and then it kind of limits I feel the improvements you can make upon the technology.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of an interesting point because of how cell phones kind of grew that way too. Not so much technology-wise, but software-wise. I know a lot of companies kind of put their own spin on the software, and so I could see that certain companies might have certain demands if they wanted to put their own proprietary software on. I mean, most of the time for cell phones, you consider that bloatware, but I don't know.
Now that you told me about it, described it to me, it's honest. Magic Leap sounds like it can be really great in some of the AR games that's out now. Well, especially Pokemon Go. It could definitely work really well. I mean, you could, if they did bring battle, and you could throw a Pokeball and then watch it pop out.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that would be pretty cool. Of course, I don't know how that would really work as far as throwing and everything goes, but I think that what really interested me while I was watching the demo is that it seemed very robust in what they were able to do. It seemed like it was reactive and responsive to wherever they started moving their fingers and their hands. So there really wasn't a lot of lag time. Now, I don't know how comfortable the set's going to be. The glasses look kind of ridiculous. Doesn't mean I'm not going to wear them, because I kind of always look ridiculous, but you're going to have something tethered into your pocket at all times. I don't know how that's really going to work, if you're going to have to be on Wi-Fi, or if you're going to have it somehow tethered to your cell phone, or if it's just going to use the 4G or 5G. I guess it's going to be 5G. Maybe not. It should be 5G capable if it's coming out this summer, right? I mean,
it should be. If it's not 5G capable, but I mean, everything I think kind of is by now. If it's not, somebody's lagging behind.
Yeah, I mean, that they're starting to push the phones with all that, and they're already starting to put 5G in certain cities, so they definitely should. But we've known for a long time that mobile games have kind of held. Oh, we got some crazy stuff going on. That mobile games have kind of held the revenue title. They stole it away from PC games for the past several years. I mean, so, I mean, do you think that we're going to see that kind of transition into these AR headsets in the near future? Do you think that, I mean, if Magic Leap releases, or HoloLens releases in the near future to mass consumer markets, are you planning on buying into them now, or do you think it's going to be the same thing like VR and just kind of fizzle a little bit?
I feel like it will fizzle a little bit, because I mean, it makes a lot of noise at first in the beginning, and then as people wait for it to come out and for everything to release and everything to function and get worked out, it fizzles over time. So I feel like it's going to fizzle, but it's not really going to go away.
Right.
It's going to be something that they're going to continue to work on, just like VR, until it becomes perfect.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know, because me personally, if Magic Leap comes out and there is kind of a path to purchasing it, I'm really going to follow that, because I've been following Magic Leap for a long time, and I'm totally okay with getting it and realizing it's not the fairy magic that I believed that it was going to be, allowing me to do everything that I wanted to do. I mean, not just that, but with the processing power and the things that they've shown so far that it can do, I don't think that our battery technology is going to be there to make this like the mobile king of where people want to go. I mean, I think that ideally this is where we want to head towards, but I don't think it's going to be there with the battery life.
I completely forgot about battery life. You are correct.
I mean, I already since you've played Pokemon Go, and I don't know how many other people out there have played Pokemon Go, but I'm sure everyone has. But whenever I first started playing it, my phone was always drained of power because I was playing it for so long. I had to buy battery packs to carry around with me. And now we're talking about something that's supposed to have more computing power, at least in some cases. And it's going to be able to take in all your surroundings. And I mean, I can only imagine how much battery that thing's going to sap. And somehow, I mean, how long are we actually going to be able to use it? Like 10, 15 minutes before you gotta recharge it?
I mean, I honestly, in the beginning, that's exactly what I see happening, because it's like I said, I still today, Pokemon Go drains the crap out of your battery like 30 minutes in, and I'm down to 29%.
Oh my gosh, man. Like, that was another reason why I couldn't keep playing it, because those battery packs get heavy after you're walking around several miles trying to find Pokemon, and you've got two 2-pound battery packs or whatever they are. They're heavy things.
Yeah, they are.
Kiwi's talking about Elon Musk making a boring phone that is solar powered and never runs out, and also has a flamethrower, which I hope that happens. I mean, maybe not the flamethrower thing. That's probably a bad idea.
Nope, that is a great idea. I will use that in the zombie apocalypse, and I will use the Walking Dead mobile game to practice.
Now that would be kind of cool. Of course, how would you do a flamethrower without? Now I'm getting into the logistics of a fake thing that Kiwi just made up right now. This is why we're not allowed to talk about these kind of things. So personally, I play too many mobile games as it is, and as we were talking about the mobile platforms, would you consider the Switch a mobile platform now, or is it still kind of like a console?
I would consider the Switch a mobile platform. Yeah, definitely.
Is it a mobile console? Is it is it kind of like the Game Boy, the newest Game Boy or so?
My God, if I honestly, when they announced it, I was like, this is great. This is going to be the new Game Boy. This is where the new Pokemon is going to come out on, and then I can walk around with it, and it's all going to be 3D. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, I could see it doing that if they continue to develop, and like the next one might be something even better. Like the next Nintendo console might be something even better that we can carry around like that.
You know, and that's kind of interesting that you brought that up. Like the Switch is essentially it's a console, but it's more like a game focused tablet in some senses with built-in controller support. But do you think that we're going to see other developers kind of follow suit? Like, you know, whenever they brought out the Kinect and the PlayStation Move controllers, it was like right after the Wii blew up. Like the Wii was already totally into like the motion controls and they had all that stuff going out. So do you think that this is something that Microsoft and Sony are going to try and emulate?
They could, but I feel like they also need to work out. I mean, if both Microsoft and Sony are headed in a separate direction than Nintendo, whereas they're kind of focusing on VR and Nintendo is going mobile. So if they want, I mean, Microsoft, they always have that potential because, I mean, Microsoft is on everything pretty much now. So they got that potential to break into that sort of like mobile, console, tablet market. PlayStation, they would need to do some catching up.
Yeah, you know, that it's kind of interesting that you mentioned that with Microsoft. So we did a news story not too long ago that Microsoft is pulling out of VR support for the Xbox, which is, I mean, that's a smart move. They shouldn't devote any more resources to that because PlayStation VR, it's still a thing, but it's not really a big thing.
Yeah. Like, there aren't that many good VR. Elite Dangerous might be the best one for the PlayStation at the moment, in my opinion.
I haven't really played very many of them. I've only played what they had demos of, so that kind of limits what I've gotten to play. But as far as Microsoft is concerned, you know, their Surface tablets are pretty amazing. I mean, they're full-fledged PCs, but they're still this, like, you know, they're tablets, but they're PCs. And I think that if Microsoft wanted to kind of get into the Nintendo Switch mobile space, they could totally do it with a Surface, a gaming focused Surface tablet, right?
Yeah, totally. Like they have that capability, they have the technology, they have the years.
Yeah.
They have the years to make a good computer like tablet mobile gaming device, or just Xbox mobile gaming device, like handheld. Like, I don't know if they want to go like that, like how what was it? It was the Wii that had that as well, like a little handheld tablet. I don't know if they want to go that route.
Yeah, the Wii U tablet thing, that was a little weird, but no, I think that they definitely could. I think that the interesting thing about it being a Surface tablet is because you would have your Steam library on it, which is pretty cool if they did that right. But you would also have some Xbox games and things like that. So,
yep, it could work out.
Okay, so in the case that happened, would you more likely, you know, purchase a Surface if it was out, or would you still stick with like the Nintendo Switch, or would you get both?
I mean, honestly, I would get both because that's just how I am. Because because there's certain things that will release on Switch that won't release on there.
It's the way it always is, man.
Yep.
That's why Nintendo's been where they are for decades, right?
Yep.
Well,
that's how they became the #1 like gaming handheld console.
Well, the last thing that we're really going to touch on, because we're moving along swimmingly, and we still have some news that I wanted to touch on. But so kind of going towards the Switch as a mobile platform, and all, thinking about these other games. I mean, Nintendo's not only gone through mobile platforming as far as the Switch is concerned, but they've also, I mean, not just Pokemon Go, but they have the Super Mario Run. They're kind of heading more towards, they want to get into the mobile market. But we've also seen games like PUBG and Fortnite, these big name games that are cross-platform now. I mean, what do you think as far as cross-platforming goes? Do you think that we're going to see a lot more in the future? Like more, like do you remember whenever the Division originally, the first one was supposed to come out, and they were talking about having like a mobile app? I mean, do you think like everyone's going to just be mobile focused like from the get-go now?
I mean, maybe not from the get-go. It all depends on the game, really, because if it doesn't really make sense to have it, then they shouldn't.
Yeah.
But for the ones that, like you said, Fortnite, PUBG, that kind of makes sense to have something to play on the go, and if they are able to do it, then definitely, yes. Focus on doing both.
Yeah. I mean, that I would prefer that if I could. Because I like having the mobile option, because I always have my phone on me whenever I'm bored. It's the easiest way to be antisocial, right?
Yeah, it is. Antisocial, or to escape from the noise around you.
Exactly. It's so good that you could be standing in a line somewhere and you don't have to pay attention to anybody else because you're playing a game on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't love doing that? You just don't notice that there are people around you at all.
Yeah, who notices the people in front of you that's already gone and checked out, and you just making a line build up behind you? I don't.
Yeah, who cares? You're playing a game. You don't have time to look at stuff that's happening in real life.
Exactly.
And Kiwi says that she previewed Arena of Valor MOBA on Switch. So then it's on GameSpace, I guess. So if you're out there and you want to know how Arena Valor turned out for Switch, go ahead and head on over to GameSpace and read all about it. That's what she said.
Yeah.
That is literally what she said. That was not a joke, everyone. All right, let's keep on trucking. We're gonna get into some weird territory that I wanted to bring up real quick, and I'm only gonna touch. It's a light news week, so we're only gonna touch on a few things pretty quickly. And last week, our show briefly touched on the Guild Wars 2 Jessica Price thing, and I'm not gonna run circles around it and run the whole gamut on it, because if you aren't in the know, just listen to last week's cast. But I want to do a quick update and a few words from Ralph, so that he can weigh in on it as well. But there was a follow-up article or two that kind of had legs of its own on MMORPG.com and found its way over to the Guild Wars 2 Reddit, and had like 500 responses and over 10,000 and more views. And people are still kind of battling out over exactly whether, what is relevant in the case of the two developers that lost their jobs over the Twitter disagreement. And we're not going to talk about that or get into that too much. But what I did want to touch on before is that there was usage last week and kind of an undercurrent of sexism that's been thrown around a lot where her firing is concerned. And I'm not going to get into that either so much in regards to her, because I think that it's been talked about enough as far as that's concerned. But whether or not you've been following this, and Ralph, I don't know how much you've been following it, but we've covered this topic of sexism in previous episodes, and we do believe that sexism does exist, and it's out there in the gaming world. While I personally don't believe that's what happened, again, we're not going to touch on it. But I think that in some cases, framing everything that happens to a particular person as sexism kind of diminishes those out there that are actually suffering, due to sexism in the industry. So I wanted to throw it out there because a news story also hit recently that followed this story, but it kind of went a little further past it. So after this story of Jessica Price hit, there was a steep rise in sexist comments against female developers, and that's not cool. But the report reads that female developers from other companies are now coming forward to share what they see as an increased effort to similarly destroy their careers in the wake of the ArenaNet firings. Some have shared emails sent to their companies, which included the phrase % female name, which is an indication that the sender had forgotten to remove like placeholder text, like they were targeting multiple different, female developers from different companies. And the designer in question, which I'm not going to put her out on blast, tweeted some of the DMs the company had received regarding her own work in the industry, saying that she normally doesn't share stuff like that, but that she wanted to kind of put it out there that what Jessica Price's like the tumultuous I guess story of Jessica Price has kind of transcended not just that one little instance, and is kind of like a poison throughout the entire industry that just it's now coming back to haunt other female developers. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, but obviously some people have issues or some kind of problem with female developers, and they're trying to take it out on them or take something out on them. So I just wanted to throw it out there that this is a news story that keeps evolving. And I mean, in your opinion, Ralph, what do you think? What do you think's going on with this whole thing?
Like, honestly, what I see it as is like, we're all gamers, man. We're all people. Why can't we all just be chill? Like, honestly, it seems like it's a lot of insecure people, in my opinion, because we have female game developers, and they are doing their job. They are making a damn good game.
That's right.
Like, for us to enjoy. So why can't we just let them do what they do? I don't see a problem with it. Like, I don't see a problem with people doing what they love. And if you're mad at them for being a different gender than you, then by God, just go and change your gender then. Yeah. And then you can stop being mad. Then you can go and live a happy life.
It is 2018, so they can do that now.
Yeah, they can.
We have the technology. It all comes back to technology, doesn't it?
Like, see things from the other side, and then see if you will still continue to, belittle and just talk trash about somebody that you do not know.
Yeah. And the story's kind of been beaten to death, and I don't like rehashing it, but it is a light news week. So no, the story that I mentioned just kind of was posted on sci-fi.com. So it is relevant to what's going on in the gaming industry, and that is what we report on. And again, I mean, I don't want to sit there and rehash old things over and over again, but really, I mean, we have had shows about sexism before, and I think it's important to note that, whether or not you agree with what happened to Jessica Price, it's important to note that it is real and that other developers are suffering from it. So,
yep.
So while that may not be the case in Price's case, it is out there, and people suck for doing it. But what doesn't suck? Something that's happily noteworthy, which was, if you guys are familiar with the Guardian Con, are you familiar with that at all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I'm not. I've never watched it. It's a 2-day event that originally started as a Destiny focused thing, right? Like,
yep.
Okay, and have you it's basically what they just like all get together and they stream, Destiny and things like that.
Well, I thought Guardian Con was a convention that they throw down there in Florida, if I'm correct, isn't it?
Sounds good to me. I don't follow Guardian Con. I mean, if Dame was here, he would probably know, Mr. 10 of 10 Destiny guy. But at Guardian Con this year,
Yeah, it's a convention. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so they did charity stream of Destiny and Fortnite. So obviously it's surpassed just Destiny. Now they've got some other games that they're streaming. And they donated their earnings to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And this year they earned and donated $2.7 million in the Charity Blitz event, which is a lot. I don't know what they normally do. What do they normally do at these? Have you ever watched it? Like, do you know what they do?
Well, I know it's usually what Professor Broman and King Cathalion. I do watch them, but I mean I believe they are the co-creators of Guardian Con.
Okay.
Like they started it, and so usually it's just playing Destiny, doing things for the kids. So I dig it.
You gotta love doing things for the kids.
Yep.
Well, that's a tremendous amount of money. And so if you're out there and you know that there's these charity events going on and you care, which is, support these guys if you can. I don't know if it's over. Last year they raised 1.2 million, Kiwi said. So maybe next year,
Yep.
maybe we'll see what is it? They doubled it. So whatever the double is, I'm not gonna do million math right now.
I'll say this: when they released that new update for Destiny, and if that brings more players in, which means there would be more players or more people going to Guardian Con next year or so, whenever that releases, which means they could raise more money, so we could be seeing like 3 million, maybe 3.5 or something next year.
Well, I mean, they played Fortnite. So Fortnite is like the most streamed game in the entire world, I think, right now. So
Yeah.
I mean, they should, if they just stick with Fortnite and Destiny, I think they'll be good. Maybe if by that time they can stream Pokemon Go too. And lastly, before we go to our last segment, because we're actually running down to the wire. This show's gone pretty quickly, strangely enough. We have our brightly colored, full-beaked bird friend Kiwi out there that wants me to remind you all that, hey, we're giving away a pair of Corsair HS70 headphones. And all you have to do to enter is head over to mmorpg.com and check out the review of them, which was, I think, done by Kiwi, her bird self. At the bottom of the review, you'll find a link to enter. It's quick and easy, and if you're out there and you haven't heard about this giveaway, it's probably because you need new headphones. So head on over to mmorpg.com and enter for the giveaway. Ralph, will you be entering yourself? What do you think?
Nope, because I want to give everybody a fair chance.
What? Oh, man. Ralph is doing a solid for you guys. Everyone get over there and do what Kiwi tells me to tell you to do, or else he gets mad at me. So now we're on to our last segment, which is what are we playing and plugs. That's plugs, not plugs. So Ralph, what have you been playing this week? And you know what? Since we're talking about mobile stuff as well, tell me a little bit about some of the mobile games you're continuously playing, and then tell me what else you're playing this week.
All right, so as far as mobile goes, I am playing the Kingdom Hearts game that's on mobile because
I forgot about that.
I love Kingdom Hearts. That is one game that never gets deleted from my phone. One, because I'm not sure if I have anything backed up, like to my Google account, and I don't want to start over.
Yeah.
But Pokemon Go, and then there's this other game on there called Logris.
Okay, what is that about?
It's okay. The full name is Logris, a Japanese RPG.
Okay.
So
just from the name alone, I'm guessing it's a Japanese RPG.
Yeah. Surprisingly, it turns out to be, yeah.
It would be weird if it was something completely different, but I mean, so it's what kind of game is it? Is it like all the other ones where you get heroes and you smack them together until they level up, or is it more like a traditional RPG?
I wouldn't even say it's. I wouldn't say it's like a traditional RPG. It's definitely a mobile RPG. It's not summoning heroes. Basically, you just have yourself, and what you do is you gotcha for the weapons, different weapons and different armors to make your character stronger.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Well, I mean, that's there are games out there mobile like that. So, would you say that it's unique in any way?
Honestly, no.
I'm not holding it against you or anything. It's just sometimes it's good to know if this game has an edge over another game from some kind of feature.
It doesn't at all. It's just an RPG. I mean, honestly, the reason I play it because I can just kill time in it for a little bit. That's all really. There's nothing that stands out about it.
Okay. Aside from it being a Japanese RPG, right?
Yep.
I mean, okay.
Yep.
and not an Italian Street Fighter, which is what Kiwi said it could be. Well, that's kind of cool. What else do you have that's non-mobile going on right now?
All right, non-mobile. Let's get into this.
Okay.
So, all right. So, Defiance 2050.
Ooh, tell me about that a little bit because I haven't played it.
I downloaded that today, and I don't see that much of a difference from the previous one. I'm going to be honest.
Oh no!
Like the biggest difference I see, like the character models look a bit updated, and like they have like a legit kind of like class system going on instead of just branching out into the different specs.
Right.
Like specking into different things. So, like I was like, okay, I dig that, but other than that, it just seems like the same as the original, which again was not bad. I liked it, so okay. That's all good.
Okay.
Other than that, let me see. I've been deep into the Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
Since they had their well, right now I believe they're still going on until Monday. They have where you can try out ESO Plus.
Okay.
Membership for free. Like they have a trial membership thing going on for that again until Monday, and awesome. It's been fun just to run around into all the DLCs for that. I dipped into Trove to try out the Geo stuff for that.
Ooh.
And
tell me about that a little bit because Kiwi's a really big fan, and I'm not a big fan of Trove really, but I've been hearing good things lately.
I mean, it's definitely fun. Like it adds new mechanics. Like you now in the Geo, like it's a specific area in the game, and instead you move around with the grapple hook in there. But again, I haven't dived deep enough into it to actually know what's going on in it.
Yeah.
But I did, like Kiwi did tell me, like you can get pets from it and so on and so forth like that. So I really want to get into it to try and get that.
Awesome.
But also with the other thing that came with that update, I believe, was the Bomber Royale. So talk about more Battle Royale type stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think she mentioned something about that too. Now, I'm not a really big fan of the whole Battle Royale thing, but I mean, I guess you might as well throw it in there, right?
Same. I'm not that big of a fan of Battle Royale, but, I've tried to play the Bomber Royale, and again, I did this on the PS4, but then I got stuck on a loading screen, and I was like, this must be fate. I'm just not meant to do it.
Well, I don't think I'll be trying Trove anytime soon, but good call on the Elder Scrolls Online thing. Is that for all platforms, do you know? Or is it just for PC?
I don't know. I've only been playing it on PC so far because I don't have PlayStation Plus on my PS4. So, but I do believe it should also be on the PS4. It didn't look like it was just restricted. I mean, PS4, Xbox. It should be on all systems, not just the PC though. Okay.
But anything else you're dabbling in? Do you have any reviews coming out or anything like that?
I am working on a review for. I'm going to pronounce this wrong because I think I just found out recently. It's called Tuhu Scarlet.
Tuhu.
Yeah,
you got me on that one. I've never even heard of it.
It's an anime RPG. It's called Tuhu Scarlet Curiosity. Again, I may be pronouncing that wrong. I've never been a big fan of that series of the game because it's like a bullet hell type game usually.
Okay. Yeah.
But this one is an action RPG, and I was like, okay, I can be about that.
And you've spent some time with it already, I'm guessing. I mean,
no, not yet. I'm actually planning to get into it this weekend.
Okay.
Yep, because I gotta get that review done. But other than that, I've also been diving deep into Warframe.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are getting back into Warframe lately, and there was a reason for that. What's happening with Warframe? Isn't there like some expansion or something special coming up?
Yes, sir. That's been released. I believe it is Sacrifice, and that just recently updated. I mean, it's been out on the PC for a bit now, but it recently just updated on PS4, which is where I play. And so I was like, all right, I need to get in. I need to get my Nidus leveled up. I need to, rank that up, get some weapons, and then just catch up with the story. And so I can do that.
Awesome. Yeah, I may get back into it because it's been a long time since I've played it. And I didn't get to... I played it on the PC, but I think I would enjoy it a lot more on the PS4. So I think if I'm going to come back and see what it has to offer, I think I'm going to do it on the PS4.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I think. Well, anything else that you'd like to plug this week?
Oh, yes. There is one thing I want to plug because I was reading this today. And, I mean, it's not... I don't... If you follow Kiwi's Twitter, she made a post today, and I read it, and honestly, it's powerful writing that she does, and it's a really, really good piece that she did about, again, we're going to go back to about the Jessica Price stuff that's been going on, and everybody should give it a read. It's really good. Just go check out her Twitter. It should be posted there. Click the link, go to it, read it. It's a good read.
That's awesome.
Great read.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Well, good plug, man. Like, you're like reading stuff and like, you've got all these games going on and you still have time to read Kiwi's Twitter. Actually, you know what's interesting is I actually saw that you posted it, but I haven't had time to read it myself. But now that it's endorsed, I may check it out myself. Well, another thing, let's talk about what I'm playing and plugs. I'm going to pass back over to the mobile stuff a little bit and tell you what mobile games I'm playing. I bet you'll never be able to guess. I'm pretty sure you would, because I'm playing pretty much every single Marvel game that you can play on the mobile platforms right now. That's Strike Force. I recently started playing Avengers Academy, which is, have you heard of this game? I didn't even know this existed.
I didn't. This is really a surprise to me.
Okay, it's ridiculous and don't play it, but I've been really kind of getting into it because it's kind of like, it's a base builder kind of a game. And like all the characters are like weird and young and cel shaded. And, they all just kind of group together and it's kind of like a teen story kind of thing. But for some reason, I find myself going back and wanting to build up my base and, try and get the new characters. I just got Wasp this weekend, which
Nice.
I'm so jazzed about because, like Ant-Man and Wasp are like two of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. And that's both like Hank and Scott. So those, like, I'm trying to keep going until I get Ant-Man as well. Marvel Puzzle Quest, I've been playing for like 2 or 3 years now. Like, I've been playing that game for a long time off and on. And, I've been really buckling down, and I just like maxed out my Ant-Man this weekend.
Nice.
I'm like really jazzed about because, again, he's one of my favorite characters, even though he's not as useful as I'd want him to be. Let's see, what other games? Strike Force I've been playing. I've been playing it off and on because I don't really like it that much. Future Fight I've been really getting into. They just added Ghost from the movie. If you guys haven't seen Ant-Man and Wasp, Ghost is like an awesome character, and they really did her justice in Future Fight. And then Contest of Champions, I also just got Ant-Man on that game. So really, if a game has Ant-Man in it, I'm going to pretty much be playing it right now because I really, really like that character. So That's kind of what I've been playing, and really that's been taking up most of my time. I do have a few other things. I just posted a new player guide on MMORPG for Guild Wars 2. We talk a little bit about getting restarted in that game, classes that you might want to choose, and so on and so forth. I have my review of Mushroom Wars 2 that hit earlier this week, which I briefly talked about last week. If you like some mushrooms, you like strategy games, and you haven't played it on either, any of the other platforms, because it's really on everything, including mobile devices. My review was for the Switch version, but I would say check it out if you're interested, if you like that kind of stuff. You don't have time for it, Ralph, but other people might. Yeah. And I have a couple other reviews coming out. Bill this week told me that he really wants me to start playing some platform puzzlers, apparently, because he assigned me 2 of them. And that's what I'm doing. And they both happen to be for the Switch, so I'm going to be getting, I guess, a lot more platform puzzling time. I couldn't tell you the names of them, even though I've already started playing both of them. I guess that tells you how much of an impression I have so far, but reviews are going to be forthcoming. As for plugs go, you know what I want to plug this week? Aside from our podcast, which is GameSpace Game Show, we're on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, pretty much everywhere that podcasts are. I'd also like to get the word out about the Hero Signal, which is a new podcast that we're going to be putting out. Our first episode is going to hit sometime this month. And Ralph's going to be there, and everyone loves Ralph. So we've got Ralph and we've got Scott, 2 of our superhero gurus, and we may have some other people coming up on the way. So our first episode will be hitting sometime at the end of the month. And from that point forward, we're also going to be doing weekly streams, even if I'm doing them on my onesies. We're still going to be doing streams of every single superhero game across the universe. And you know what? Listen to the first podcast, because I'm also going to throw it out there on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at the Hero Signal 1, or on Facebook at the Hero Signal. Definitely follow us on there, because we're going to let you guys choose what our first game is that I'm going to be playing through. And it can be any game under the sun except Marvel Heroes Omega, because they ruined my life by closing it down.
Yeah, they did. I was mad.
Yeah, me too. But definitely get in on some of that, because we have some. We're going to be doing a lot of streams leading up to some of the cool new games that are coming out, which includes the new DC Universe Supervillains game, and I'm going to be streaming pretty much non-stop of the new Spider-Man game that's going to be releasing in just a couple months. And Kiwi says, what game do you hate most? And play that one. I'm not going to say that, because if everyone starts following me and they start giving me suggestions, they're obviously going to pick the one that I hate most because of you, Kiwi. So I'm not going to post that. Just I will say that my preference would be to start with the Batman Arkham games, because I haven't played through every single one. I have played through the first 2. Which I would start with the first one and start moving through them all. But, I definitely would like to start with those, because they're fantastic games, man. Aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they are. Great story. Oh, it's so good.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I didn't play them, but I sat and watched my brother play through them.
Yeah,
because they were just that good. I didn't move. I just watched.
It's one of those games that you wish it was a movie,
Yeah,
because it was that good. So I really want to relive them, and I'm also thinking about trying to get you guys in on some Ultimate Alliance as well. We got Marvel games, we got DC games. I got all the Lego games. I mean, if there's a superhero game, I have it, and I'm gonna play it.
I have a question. Does that also include the Telltale superhero games?
Yes. It does,
okay.
Actually. I just, at the Steam sale, I just went nuts. I just I was like, you know what? There are a few games that I don't have. The Telltale games were on there. So I got the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Batman one, And I'm excited to play through them because I haven't played through them yet. So
Nice.
So it's going to be great. Totally superhero focused. And if you're out there, you want to know what's going on, I've already started posting some stuff at the Hero Signals. So follow us if you can. If you can't follow us, then I don't know why you can't. That doesn't make any sense. Everyone should be able to do that, right? Like, it's like a button.
Yeah,
right?
It's just a click. It's just a click. Just do it. It's easy.
Awesome. Well, that's actually it for the show. We've wasted our entire hour that went way too fast.
Oh yeah.
I didn't expect it.
I mean, good conversations, man. It makes time fly.
Yeah,
That's
it does. I'm also going to plug before we go next week. If you guys had a chance this past week to get on Twitch Prime, they were giving away a lot of free games. That's still ongoing, but they gave away a game called Next Up Hero, and that's by Digital Continue, and the publisher is Aspire. And next week, we're going to have the developers on to talk about their game. So if you got the game, you want to know what's coming up for it, if you just want to know what's going on in the game, if you want to see us play the game, because we're going to actually be playing the game during the stream, join us for our show next week, because we're going to have a lot of that information, and you're going to get to see what you're missing out on, because I've had a lot of Next Up Hero time. I don't know if Ralph has, but Ralph, if you have Twitch Prime, definitely pick it up. I think you're running out of time to pick it up. So
yeah, I got to get Twitch Prime again before that goes away.
You know what's really good is they're doing the 30 days free of it. So if you don't have it right now, you can get 30 days free of Twitch Prime right now just to pick up the games, and then forget you ever owned it. I would recommend doing that if you don't have, if you don't want to spend the money on Twitch Prime, or if you don't want to link your Amazon account if you have an Amazon Prime account. I would say definitely do that so that you get the games and you get out of there, and definitely pick up Next Up Hero because it's one of my favorite games. It's like an action RPG. It's like endless. It's tons of fun, and we can all kind of play together too. So
sweet.
Pick it up if you can. But that's it for our show tonight. I appreciate everybody coming out and chatting with us, and Kiwi for being our mod out there. If you guys don't know Kiwi, she's kind of always out there modding and being a bird creature, and obviously thanks Ralph for joining us this week, and I hope he comes back again pretty soon.
Oh, always, man. I like, before I've just been super busy, but things are starting to wind down, so
awesome.
I should be available whenever.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody, and we will see you guys next week.
Laters.